know. So yesterday, I started this whole thing. It was kind of piggybacking off the Make More Offers Challenge with Myron Golden. By the way, excellent challenge. All the important links are in the description. Y'all have to sign up. You have to. And I'm not just saying it. Of course, in all disclosure, I found that they had an affiliate program. And of course, I signed up for the affiliate program because if any of y'all actually take my advice and sign up for this challenge that change your life, yeah, I'm gonna make me a little something off of it. But not just that, okay? It is actually an amazing challenge. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure is that I never recommend something that I cannot stand behind. This is a challenge that I can definitely stand behind. So anyway, all the important links are in the description. If you guys have questions about it, let me know. But a part of the reason why I even shifted the direction of the channel and content as well is because we're building businesses over here. But from that particular challenge, we have gotten so many different ideas and things that we are putting into action and putting into play. So I also wanted to give people the opportunity not just to say, hey, this thing works, but to see it working out in real time. So y'all take your time, do what you need to do. But I'm telling you, an amazing challenge. You don't want to wait too long because your business depends on it. Right? Anywho, so it's kind of like piggybacking off of that. Somebody from in the offers challenge contacted me, reached out, and asked if they could coach. So they wanted to begin coaching. Of course, it's a paid thing initially, but they said, hey, the first 5 days are going to be free. Just want to see if we work well together, if this is something that I could really truly help you with, and if after the 5 days you believe that this is something I can assist you with, then we will go forward with actual coaching. So he made his offer, right? And I appreciated that. So I have my own thoughts and opinions on that. But I appreciated the fact that he actually took some action steps from the challenge and said, look, I'm gonna make my offer, right? Y'all be out here shooting y'all shots when it comes to dating and when it comes to everything else. Shoot y'all shot when it comes for that offer, right? When it comes to getting that client, getting that contract, go ahead and shoot your shot for making that offer, right? So anywho, so I agreed to that. But yesterday, instead of starting at 8 o'clock, as we had agreed, 8 o'clock my time, we're a 12-hour difference, right? So it's evening there. So instead of starting 8 o'clock our time, Eastern Standard Time, he pushed it back an hour. But pushing it back an hour pushes my schedule back an hour, right? And y'all know we got some things going on over here. We're getting a new employee, a new team member, handpicked by the Almighty, that sort of thing. So time is a little bit more limited. So when that happened, it kind of shifted my schedule, and I owe you all a video, right? But anywho, I will give you guys some feedback on that particular 5-day coaching. I'll give you guys some feedback on that because it is important. It's important to ensure that as we're growing and as we're developing, even in making our offer, and joking, saying, go shoot your shot for that contract, for that client, and you want to. But you also want to be as prepared as possible and realize, too, the timing of things is also super important. But anyway, I will give you feedback on that once I get through the 5 days. But one of the things that I was thinking about, and I was actually watching one of Myron Golden's other videos, and I've watched a ton of his videos. I can't remember exactly when I started watching his channel and doing that, so go check out the channel. That's exactly what this is about. But I can't remember when I actually started doing that, but it's at least been a year now. I've been watching his videos and doing all of that. Well, now, after going through the Make More Offers challenge, something hit me yesterday. I was watching one of his other videos, and I heard something I heard in the challenge. And he was just talking about Price is Law. You guys can look that up, or I'll put the link to the actual video I was watching. I'll put that in a post so you guys can follow along or see it or whatever. But anyway, and then I began to notice, and I actually started to write down. I looked at my notes, and I began to write down things in the video that I had heard before. Now, this is a free video online, and this will all come full circle in just a moment. But it's a free video online, and I'm writing down the information that I hear in this video that I had heard before that had come out the Make More Offers Challenge. Why is that important? Because for at least a year, if not years, plural, I have been listening to Myron Golden give away free information. And he tells you this in the Make More Offers course, right? I have been listening to him give away free information. What was the problem with him giving away this information for free and then me actually paying for this information, the same information? Now, it wasn't all the same, but a majority of the information that he shared in the Make More Offers Challenge is the information that he has online for free. Here's why you can get, this is why it's important and why you will get paid. Because people pay for convenience. People pay for convenience. It is absolutely altering and absolutely changing the way that I come in and present my offer. And it's not a sales pitch anymore, because at the end of the day, we're helping. Our goal is to help and assist and solve a problem for whoever our client is, right? So it's no longer a sales pitch, but it definitely changes the way that I even approach them, because people pay for convenience. If I go and I sit down and I watch his current free content and I come with my notebook, I could probably not have paid for the course, but people will pay you for convenience. The second reason why this is important, the observation is important, is because we have to understand that we are people. Right? That we are people. And in this journey for building our business and birthing this thing that God has for us, we are going to have to make some decisions. We're going to have to make a decision on what we should pay for convenience to catalyze ourselves, to be a catalyst for where we're going, and then things where we're just being lazy and we just need to pay more attention, not attention, intention. We need to give certain things more intention. And that's what dropped on my spirit for today. That as entrepreneurs, as kingdom builders, as wealth builders, whatever you want to call it, however you want to categorize it, what we need to do is we need to shift and we need to pivot from giving things our attention and giving things our intention. What a time waster to sit there and I cannot tell you how many hours I wasted listening to free information that I could have intentionally taken some notes, studied, marinated on, put into action, put into play, and been further along than where I am now. We need to make a shift from attention to intention immediately. There are a lot of things in this world that is vying for, that is trying to get our attention. And we all know that attention will turn into distraction. I can't tell you how many times, and that's the reason why the whole Netflix thing, for the most part, unless I'm watching something with my husband, I'm not watching Netflix like that, or for the kids. Why? Because I know the danger for myself. The danger for myself is that I get into a really good show and I wind up wasting 2 or 3 days of life binge watching somebody else's television, binge watching someone else's success before investing and depositing into my own. How many times have we done that? How many times have we given something our attention, i.e. distraction? How many times have we done that? And yes, there is a time, there's a place for relaxation. There is a place for unwinding. There is a place for re-energizing. There's a time and a place for all of that. And there's nothing wrong with it. But you have to have your own meter. You have to gauge yourself. Know yourself. I know for me, Netflix ain't it, because it goes from me just relaxing to me being completely off track. And you have to know what that looks like for you, but there's so many things in this world vying for your attention. We have to make that pivot. We have to make that shift. We have to make that change from attention to intention. Now I am very, very intentional. And I've been doing this probably consistently, maybe since a little bit before the Make More Offers Challenge, which is the reason why I joined the challenge in the first place. But I've been doing it for a little bit before then. I'd probably say maybe like November, December. Really being more intentional about what I watch, how long I watch it, what is actually feeding me. Right? If I'm watching or listening to a podcast or something, is it actually feeding me and developing me? I have certain areas in my life that I am seeking to improve. Right? Our level and our amount of business was one of those things. So the Make More Offers Challenge makes sense because it is now coming alongside a goal I already had in mind, something that I'm already seeking out to improve, to develop. So it makes sense. If I want our business revenue to increase, then I have to do things to increase the revenue. I have to make some deposits in that regard. There are things that I want for my children. So I am intentional about hair care, for instance. Their hair is their glory. I need to treat it as such, right? And not just be the busy mama slapping ponytails on their head or whatever the case may be. So I'm intentionally, when I follow, and it's not about getting on social media or doing all of that, because we do have to use some of the tools that are available to us. It's about using them more intentionally. So I now follow people who have mastered natural hair care. What does that look like? What does that routine look like? So even as I am decompressing, as I'm doing all of that, I am still I'm making some deposits into a goal that I already have. I have personal goals for myself. Growth and development, a part of the reason why I've incorporated Myron Golden. It's because there's a certain capacity that I want to be able to operate in. And knowing that I want to operate in a certain capacity, I have to start rubbing shoulders with. I have to start diving into certain things that help me expand my capacity. So I limit myself to certain YouTube channels. As I'm decompressing, as I'm doing all of that, still doing that, but now I'm doing it with more intention instead of just letting things grab my attention. And it's going to be so important in this season. So important in this season. We want to see the manifestation of everything that God has promised to us. And in order to do that, we have to be laser focused. We have to be intentional about what we give our time, our energy, and our attention to. All right? Right? If y'all agree, if you agree, put a couple hearts in the chat. Right? If you agree, give me a thumbs up. Put it in the chat if you agree with that. If that hits your spirit, if you say, you know what, yeah, that's true, that's me. Go ahead, put a couple thumbs up in the chat. Put a couple hearts, because I know I like putting hearts, but some of y'all may not be all that touchy-feely. Right? Let's shift the way that we're thinking, shift the way we're doing things. But when I noticed that, I said, oh my goodness, he was right. And this is something he absolutely 100% says in the course. He made us all raise our hand and say, how many of you guys are here? How many of you guys have watched my YouTube videos? How many of you guys paid me to come here today because, one, you wanted to see if I said anything different in the YouTube videos, but I provided you so much value for free that you said if I pay him for something, I know I'm going to be changed. Set it in the challenge. And it's absolutely true. So what I want you guys to take away from today, I want you all to focus on, I want you guys to make a list. What has your attention? What is taking up your time during the day? Because whatever has your attention, i.e., could definitely be your distractions. Make that list. What has your attention? And I want you to go through and I want you to mark up your list and say, maybe here's a distraction, here's a distraction, here's a distraction, here's a distraction. And how do we know it's a distraction? We know it's a distraction if it's anything that deters us away from our overall goals and pathway to destiny. We know it's a distraction. If it doesn't align with where we're going, if it's causing us to make a detour, unnecessarily, we know it's a distraction. Make your list, mark it up, and begin taking some real action. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. Y'all take what y'all need. Y'all get on. Y'all get on about y'all business. I'll talk to y'all soon.